Yeah, so I'm going to lay the points here with the Buccaneers at -2.5. I do expect this line to jump up to 3 by kickoff because I think a lot of people are like you, Greg. They just can't trust the Saints in this spot. New Orleans Saints have a middle-of-the-road scoring offense, but their efficiency's definitely been an issue this year. They ranked 20th in offensive rusher rating and 14th in offensive passer rating, according to ColdHeartFootballFacts.com. And they're going to face a very motivated Tampa Bay team that can clinch the division at home. The Buccaneers defense been legitimate all season. I just can't believe they were 10-1 in the division at the beginning of the year when you have guys like Vita Vea, Devin White, Levante David, Antoine Winfield Jr., Shaq Barrett. The list goes on and on. They're the fourth-ranked team in the red zone this season when it comes to red zone defense. This is an area that's probably going to decide the game on Sunday. If the Saints can't get Alvin Kamara going, it's going to be a long day for the offense because he's the player that needs to lead around the goal line. The problem for Tampa Bay until December was their offense. Then Baker Mayfield started getting comfortable, and the OL started to improve. Rashad White became the back that we knew he could be. This team just really came together. Mayfield had another great performance on Sunday, throwing for nearly 300 yards once again, 2 scores to Mike Evans, a guy that just continues to produce for them. And White's been really effective catching the ball out of the backfield. So if New Orleans can score in the red zone, I do think they have a chance to tame the Bucs because their defense is good enough to limit Tampa Bay's scoring. We did see it earlier in the year. The Buccaneers dominated that game in New Orleans, but still the offense wasn't great. It was more the defense that came out and won the game for them. But I just don't trust New Orleans. If Tampa Bay wins the division, doesn't win the division, it would be a massive collapse. They just need to win this week or on the road next week to Carolina if they were to lose on Sunday. But I think they want to win it at home, finish it off, and that's why I'm going to lay the points here, -2.5. Yeah, short rest for the Baltimore Ravens, but a ton of momentum coming into this game. I do want to press the pause button a little bit on the Ravens going to the Super Bowl. I hope they do. I have a ticket on the Ravens to go to the Super Bowl. But what they did against the 49ers was amazing. However, the offense wasn't spectacular in that game. The defense forced 5 turnovers. It's nearly impossible to win the game when you give the ball up 5 times. Odds makers have already said it. If this is the Super Bowl matchup, the 49ers would be a 2-point favorite in that game. So just calm down on the Ravens if you're a little out of control right now. I do think the Ravens have a ton of momentum coming into this game. They are a better team than Miami. The Dolphins haven't really performed on the road. Make no mistake about it. They are feeling the pressure of Buffalo right behind them in the division if they don't win this game. If Miami lost, we would get the AFC East title game next week, pending Buffalo doesn't slip up as a 2-touchdown favorite against New England Patriots this weekend. ColdHeartFootballFacts.com has a stat that measures efficiency against quality opponents, teams above 500. The Dolphins are 21st in the league, and when you factor in how they played on the road, it's just not a spot that I want to take Miami in. They have improved on defense throughout the year, but they're still a middle-of-the-road unit. Baltimore has one of the best defenses in the league. They rank 2nd in defensive passer rating, 1st in defensive rusher rating. Lamar Jackson's really difficult to bring down. He's been able to improvise against the best teams in the NFL. That's what makes him so dangerous. Zay Flowers has really been fantastic as of late. And there just simply aren't many holes for the Ravens when you match them up against Miami. So I am going to go with Baltimore -3.5. I just want everyone to press the pause button on them. I don't think last week was an indication of what this Ravens team is if they were to match up against the 49ers once again. I think the Cowboys do get it done at home, 5.5. We're starting to get a pretty big number there for the Detroit Lions because they are a talented football team. But I like Detroit to come in and establish the run in this football game. That's why I'm going to take David Montgomery over 55.5 rushing yards. Always tough to bet on running backs when it's a tandem of guys there. Obviously, I have Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. But the Dallas Cowboys do allow 115 rushing yards per game. They thrive at home, but there's still a lot of holes in this unit against the run, especially versus a physical team like the Detroit Lions. When you look at the defensive front for the Dallas Cowboys, they are undersized. Teams can lean on them and effectively run the football. And I think that's why Dan Campbell is going to go with the bruiser, David Montgomery, a little more over Jahmyr Gibbs early in this football game. Montgomery delivers those body blows, which is going to set up Gibbs for the explosive gains off tackle. And 55.5 is a low enough total against the Cowboys where I think the Lions do have that advantage in the trenches where Montgomery's going to hit this number. Detroit is 3rd in offensive hog index, according to ColdHeartFootballFacts.com, measures how well an offensive line performs. The Cowboys are 12th in defensive hog index. That measures a front 7. So Lions do have a lot of momentum following their first division championship, and Montgomery has still been the feature back as much as Jahmyr Gibbs has come along. He's 7th in the league in rushing yards with 910 this season, and he's getting the majority of the carries. In the past 2 weeks, he has 34 carries. Gibbs has 26. So we've seen that workload increase for Gibbs, but make no mistake about it. When the Lions need a physical running back in there, Montgomery is the guy getting the carry. So going to lean over on this 55.5 number. So I was telling some people that I like Gabe Davis over 36.5 receiving yards. Like, why are you crazy? Gabe Davis has been super inconsistent, but I think this is a good spot for him. The Patriots just really aren't a good football team, but they are dangerous, right? Since Bailey Zappe's taken over, New England has looked a lot better. The Bills need to come out and make a statement in this game. They need to win to make the playoffs and potentially play for the AFC East title next week. They can clinch this week, need a few things to go their way outside just winning, but they have a lot of momentum here. And I don't think Buffalo is going to leave any doubt that they're the best team on the field. They already lost to the Patriots, as you said. That was a very bad performance. We're not going to see that again. And Gabe Davis needs to get involved for them to find a way to come out and win this football game. We saw it last week. He was sensational against the Chargers. He is a boom or bust wide receiver in his past 5 games. He does have 2 100-plus yard performances. In the other 3 games, he doesn't even have a catch, which can make it very difficult to bet on him. But against the Patriots, I still like it here because I think they're going to emphasize Stephon Diggs. They're also going to try to limit Josh Allen's running ability and keep him in the pocket. Easier said than done, but that should open up Davis for more plays down the field. When you look at the Patriots, they do have the second best run defense in the NFL, but they're a league average passing defense, and Buffalo's been successfully through the ringer. They're almost there. I think they need that big offensive game, and that's where Gabe Davis has to get involved here. If it's just Stephon Diggs and the tight ends, I just don't see Buffalo having as much success as they could without getting Davis involved. 36.5 is a low enough number for him to hit this on a few catches.